Willie D. Live.
What's up, family? Secretary of State Marco Rubio is facing renewed questions after the Trump administration's capture and plan to prosecute Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro weeks after Donald Trump, your president, pardoned another Latin American leader convicted of nearly identical crimes. Check out the Rubio wiggle as George Stephanopoulos gets on his head.
You mentioned the indictment of Mr. Maduro, and of course it does detail his drug running operations. In the same jurisdiction, the former president of Honduras was actually convicted on similar charges, yet the president pardoned him. Here's what the vice chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Mark Warner, had to say about that. He said, "You cannot credibly argue that drug trafficking charges demand invasion in one case while issuing a pardon in another." What's your response?
Well, the president has the pardon authority. He's the one that reviewed the file with the folks at the White House to make these pardon decisions, and I refer questions to them on it because I'm not involved in the pardon process. So I can't comment on that because I wasn't involved in that process. But the president outlined yesterday that he felt that in that particular case there was unfairness, and that there was unfairness in the way that individual was treated. And he also pointed to the fact that the party that's now won the elections in Honduras had asked for this. And so I would point to those comments as a rationale for it. In the case of Maduro, look, it's very simple. This guy was indicted. No one ever did anything about it. He didn't think he was under threat or that the indictment was ever going to be enforced. It was enforced yesterday.
Hernandez was convicted by a jury.
I understand. You're asking me, the pardon authority is something that, I'm not involved in my role. I'm not criticizing it. I can't just comment on it because I just wasn't involved in those deliberations.
Do you support it?
I wasn't involved in those deliberations. I haven't looked at the case file. I haven't looked at the arguments made by, I've got a bunch of other things going on that are within my purview as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, but pardons aren't one of them. So I can't comment on a case that, frankly, I'm aware of, but not deeply and familiar with, and I don't want to comment on something that I haven't had a chance to be involved in reviewing the file and the rationale behind it.
That's something I would say if I wanted to not upset my boss. George Stephanopoulos. I ain't got no problem with the way you conducted that interview. You asked the hard questions. I'm surprised that they were asked because, George, you are working for mainstream America, and, they just, they play the game. They collude with the government to create the narrative and spin the propaganda machine. You know how it go. So I'm surprised to hear such a hard-nosed approach. That was pretty good, impressive. You put him on the spot, and the reason why I know that he was not prepared for that, y'all didn't go over it, because he was caught off guard a number of times. He just didn't have an answer. He didn't have an answer. It's almost like he dropped his homework. Came to school the next day, and boom, automatic F. You know how it go, fam, when you lose your homework. You lose your homework, man, automatic F. Marco got an automatic F. Let's go back to something that Marco said. He said that the president of Venezuela was indicted and no one ever did anything about it. Who gonna tell him? The hypocrisy, man. The gaslighting is next level. I do not know how this country is going to survive, how we're going to be able to hold on to a shred of integrity with all of these lies coming from the top, and everybody see the lies so clearly. Ooh, that internet opened it up. I mean, you could see what was going on before the internet, right? But man, the internet show you what's really happening, where you can take away a lot of the speculation. You can see what's going on in real time. Oh, man. said the guy was indicted and no one ever did anything about it, as if he is all for justice. Anytime somebody gets indicted, somebody need to do something about it. So I know some of y'all are in the comments because you know I'm going in on your massa. So I gotta speak on this. I'm gonna do this because, well, number one, I like it when you wiggle. I love it when I get under your skin, you get uncomfortable, you get angry, you know, you be about to bust a blood vessel or something. I like that, man. So if I can be of any help, I'd love to do that for you. If I can get you to a point where you're ready to crash all the way out, risk it all, throw it all away. I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. And all I gotta do is tell the truth. I ain't gotta make up nothing. Just tell the truth. And that'll do it for you because you live in a constant state of denial. That's right. I said, I know you. I know you real good. I know you. Yeah. So anyway, fam, this guy, Marco, must have forgot that he works for a guy who was convicted 34 times. Oh, before he was convicted, he was indicted. And he actually was convicted. And then nobody did anything about it. In fact, there was a time when Marco was going up against Donald Trump, and he was talking about Donald Trump like a dog. And next thing you know, he's the dog on the leash. Trump is walking him like a dog. He just be standing behind Trump, just kissing ass. He just be, man, like, damn, man, how do you do that to another man? I get it, man, that's your boss, you work for him. But it ought to be some man left in you, though. You're supposed to have some man qualities, like you're not supposed to act like a lapdog. And then to have a position the way that you have, and I understand a lot of these positions are just for optics. They really mean nothing because the people who hold these positions, they don't have any power once Trump steps in. You know, they used to bossing people around, but when it comes to Trump, they bow down. They just bow down and kiss the ring. Marco Rubio, he had a spine. He seemed to have a spine when he was running against Trump. And he was calling Trump out on everything. All of the stuff that he's praising Trump for right now, he dogged Trump about when he was on the campaign trail, including where his Make America hat was made. He said everything you wear, your suits, your hats, were made in Mexico and China. He told Trump that. Trump could not say anything about it. He wasn't even able to refute it. So Maduro's wife was captured. Why was his wife captured? If he was the only one indicted, why did they capture his wife? This is just, just a little question I had. I ain't mean really too much about it. I don't really know too much. Just saying, like I heard that they captured his wife also. Well, what was that about? I stopped watching the news about 10 years ago. I still see little clips and stuff on the internet, but as far as just sitting there watching the news for, hours at a time, not even minutes at a time, I can't do it anymore, fam, because whenever these politicians are interviewed, it's just constant dishonesty and unprincipled demagoguery. That's all it is. And so I just can't do it anymore. The lies, and nobody will take accountability. And what I'm saying to you, fam, is it may look like it's just them, the politicians, but somebody's putting these people in office. I submit to you that we are. the American people. There's a certain segment of us, when I say segment, I mean millions, tens of millions, who are cuckoo, for lack of a better word, cuckoo. And you would think that it wouldn't be that bad because, people just can't be, there can't be that many bad people, right? Can't be that many lost people, right? Can't be that many ignorant people, right? Just can't be that many. But here's a good clue. When you watch how many pastors are able to successfully navigate people from the bank to the church, to dig into their pockets and dump money into the collection plate. Well, let me back up. That's old school. They straight up doing withdrawals now. They doing ACH withdrawals now. They just, boom, money going straight to the bank now. They hitting them with the Cash App and everything now. Venmo, everything. They got them. Boop, boop, boop. I mean, that money just pouring in. And it ain't nothing wrong with giving tithes, especially when a church, you can see the work of the church. You see the church in the community. They're doing the work. You see evidence of it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And there's nothing wrong with the pastor living a cushy life. I mean, what's more important than being in the business of saving souls, right? That's a noble business to me, And we talk about church being a business. To me, that is an extremely noble business to be in. Saving souls, Lord knows some souls need to be saved around here, right? Now think about it, fam. If we could honestly save souls, if there was pastors out there that we knew that was actually saving souls, we wouldn't mind them being paid. And hell, I wouldn't mind the pastor living in a 50-room mansion, a 100-room mansion with 25 private jets, man. Just get rid of some of these uncivilized mutts. It just wouldn't matter to me. Yeah, man, they deserve more pay than a lot of these athletes and entertainers and politicians because they ain't doing nothing to improve people's lives. And they getting all the money. The church is a good barometer to measure by which people are gullible. When you look at all these people who just blindly support these pastors, not all of them, most of them though, in my opinion, so many pastors out there who are pulpit pimps. When you look at how they are able to just brainwash people, it gives you an idea how many more of them are out there. And they're all over the world. It's bad out there, fam. It's really bad. Marco Rubio is a flunky, for lack of a better word. I used to have, just a bit of respect for him, But that just goes to show you how easily they can fool even the best of us. The fact that he sold out to Trump and Trump's vision lets me know that he was a sellout all along. No more talk.